Hey you, it's True with a new rapid fire video on my new data-based tier list. And I mean rapid fire in more ways than one. As usual, we kick it off with the new units in chronological order, the first one being Earth Dark Rolotia. Her skill set works well, but only in niche scenarios for the current meta. She's just not strong enough to make a reliable difference against the strong storm units, and despite the guarding gimmick, a unit with low speed and no way to get turns just ain't it anymore. A tier. Plus, she kind of got trolled by Sigza on top of that, as they released 2 more top burn units right after her, which is Rolotia's biggest weakness. Clare came in like a fiery wrecking ball, good at one copy, but insane when fully awakened. She's got a good skill package that also helps her teammates to blaze onwards, but most importantly, insane damage scaling. Good base damage with a 10% burn drive bonus for each burning unit on the battlefield, which, and this is where it gets crazy, can stack with Enrage. And she constantly gives Enrage to herself and her team. This all results in an astonishing Execute All skill that she can use every 100 time units. Silver Sky Slash. Even though it does not ignore armor, damage output can reach above 1000% and as such still often takes care of any non-stealthed enemies. SSS Tier, and as such the first burn unit ever to make it there. And if that wasn't enough, Evertale also released Zhuge Liang for good measure. While far from Clare in terms of killing ability, she can also pop off. But generally, she's more geared towards supporting. For example, her piercing skill can help her teammates ignore enemy armor. Clare's final skin becomes even more powerful with that. Plus, many burn units often lack the armor ignore. Kongming herself got plenty of armor though, 20% for each burning ally up to 80%, and she also heals 10% for each burning unit after surviving an attack with more than 1 HP. It's just unfortunate that she can only use her execute skill Dragon Slam when she's below 50%. Rather difficult to achieve considering her survival gimmicks that we just mentioned. Still, in the current climate, she makes it to SS Tier. Which leaves us with yet another Earth unit. Now granted, an Earth release sandwich with 2 fires in the middle isn't the most promising timing for the former. That said, Pinocchio does surprisingly okay in the current meta. Her burn weakness is much less pronounced than any other burn units we have seen in the last years, and her being geared more towards poison helps as well, since sleep isn't in a promising spot right now anyways. On the other hand, Pino is surprisingly vulnerable to stun. When she gets turns though, she can often quickly unlock some free spots for reinforcements on the enemy team, if you know what I mean. She's reining in the storm units a bit, including frontrunners like new Anya and Chronos. She also makes it to SS Tier as the strongest Earth unit right now. And after so much hype, let's get down to earth a bit. With a truckload of tier demotions. OG stealth unit Dark Elmina goes down to Graveyard Tier. She's joined there by another dark unit, Ossia, who has a decent blood unit back in the day. Looking on the light side of things, the Spirit Support and prior top 10 SSR Mirai falls to F tier. It's been over 4 years, so that's still a feat. The only autoguard with 60% redirect, the only SSR autoguard that is, Earth Alira, also goes down. Looking at who gets demoted to E tier next, the sleep unit Water Alice with the Morphe sidekick is one of them. But the only 1-year-old Earth Frankenstein unit is also one of them. Mary can't help her. OG Lancelot can't do much anymore either. Her storm companion Clarice also feels the same. And Loki has low-key never been that great either, despite introducing the Hypno mechanic to Evertale. A lot more storm units are coming in lower on D tier, which makes sense with the rise of stun immunities. Giga Rolotia, Himiko and Stormjean all have been well regarded units in 2023, but times and time units change. Earth Kaguya was also a top unit with her auto-cursed sleep. And Genie, well, the RNG doesn't favor her anymore. Let's see who joins C. Striking a darker tone, the Super Mori spam unit Excalibur The OG Dark Cleopatra and the stealth support Angel Jean have slowly been falling from grace. The same is true for the all-rounder Percival and Bright Lancelot, the latter being unusable in burn teams and dying rather quickly as a guard is a problem. Further up, the sleep struggle gets visible. Water Anya, the dominating unit of early 2024, goes down to B tier. Also, maybe even more surprisingly, Da Vinci joins her there. This light unit was always looking better on paper than on the battlefield, I'm afraid. Earth Cleopatra and Yukata Ludmilla feel the heat too. Once a flame flickers, they are in trouble. And Dark Sun Wukong's survivability is more and more of an issue, while her crazy damage scaling is normalized in newer units. Still a great unit to defeat events and towers with though. 3 water units leave the S tier: Musashi, Elizabeth and Mermaid. With a strong sleep release, especially the latter two could still come back, but right now Burn and Poison have too good of a matchup against them most of the time. Despite that, Elizabeth may be a bit underrated currently, in my personal opinion. Good news for them is that Storm units are also struggling given the burn rise. Nike is declaring victories less and less and falls to A tier. But why stop there? Storm Kirin is also affected, though she's still a strong entry against any non-burn teams. Earth Gawain, for a long time the beacon of Earth, feels the burn too now. It's funny how many teams are adversely affected by these fire releases. Somewhat surprisingly, even Dark Clarice is one of them, despite having the ability to override mega healing burn with her poisonous skills. Her dark companions, Dark Lancelot and Cthulhu, follow suit, both insanely strong at their release. All these units must get comfy in S tier for now, though that means they are still strong, given how tight I keep the tier thresholds. And then there's the final drop. Dark Ludmilla does not quite qualify for SSS tier anymore at the moment, despite her versatile and strong poison guard support skill set. The burn stun is probably getting to her, although she's still a top 5 unit as of now. After dozens of demotions, I still have some promotions in store for you. And given the theme of the video so far, you're probably not massively surprised to find out which team type is on the rise. The burn entry Shenlong goes up in value and tiers, resulting in an S tier placement. Even higher up, Satan joins Zhuge Liang, propelled partially by the support she gives her. And while many other older burn units fail to capitalize on this burn resurgence in terms of tiers, Cerberus, after over 16 months, is still a main staple of burn teams, despite burn teams often utilizing new Anya nowadays as well. The title of oldest SS tier unit still belongs to Light Anya though, who is also a god. And finally, looking at the SSS tier, which has some fire in it for the first time. Why not add some more? Lucifer, with her auto burn on every turn, is still a must-have for burn teams, and even some hybrid teams love to use her to get rid of pesky status effects. Joining the SSS tier now, I think she might just be the oldest unit to ever ascend this high this late, after consistently being tiered below for 8 months of her release. Which goes to show how far along Fire has come this year already. The top 2 are still Storm territory though. New Anya and Chronos are arguably less dominant than a month ago, but still insanely strong, besides being usable in pretty much any team type. Especially New Anya, with her disable and survivability, reigns supreme with an astonishing 82% usage rate among the 2000 best Evertale teams worldwide. For comparison, the second highest currently belongs to Cthulhu at 60%, and Clare only has 34%. Chronos struggles more to get kills required with the latest releases, but if the RNG hits right, she can also take care of some earth counter like Pinocchio with her undo existence skill. That's it, a wildfire is spreading in the Evertale meta, and this tier list is the visible result. While I kind of failed again to keep this super rapid fire in the brevity sense, I hope you enjoyed my tier analysis deep dives. Putting all this and the data together takes a lot of hours, so if you can, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. Maybe YouTube will finally stop recommending my old April tier list in search results then, which left my more recent editions rather dry in the wind. Back to the tier list at hand, possibly what you see on the screen is already the peak of the burn stun meta, or the domination continues for a while longer. To be well informed about any shifts coming your way in Evertale, make sure to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.